Chosen one, you thought the eclipse was over? The sky grew dark, the moon turned red, but the real change did not stay above. It descended. It entered you. Since that night, your body has not been the same. Your sleep feels different. Your energy rises and falls without reason. Your heart races out of nowhere. Chills cover your skin, as if touched by an invisible hand. This is not sickness. This is not coincidence. These are physical symptoms of a spiritual process that has already begun. Your body is reacting because it has become the altar, the living witness of what heaven has released. And I ask you, will you ignore these signs, treating them as ordinary, or will you recognize that every beat, every sensation, every change is heaven declaring, I have already begun to transform you from within? The eclipse did not end. It entered you. Chosen one, many believe the eclipse was just an event in the heavens, a passing spectacle of light and shadow, something to look at and then move on from. But for those who carry the seal of heaven, the eclipse was not simply something to observe, it was something to receive. What happened in the sky was only the visible reflection of what was being released into the earth, into time, and most of all, into your body. The blood moon did not finish when its red glow faded. The truth is, it marked the beginning of a new cycle. Heaven used the eclipse as a channel, a doorway, to pour out a vibration that would not stay above, but would descend into the chosen. That is why, since that night, your body has been experiencing things you cannot explain. Fatigue without reason, sudden chills, dreams that feel more like journeys than sleep, a sense of pressure in your chest, your head, or your back that comes and goes with no pattern. These are not random. These are confirmations. The eclipse entered you. Understand this. The human body is not separate from the spiritual. Your flesh is not just biology. It is a vessel designed to carry divine fire. That is why the spirit moves first in your body before your mind can even grasp what is happening. The trembling, the heat, the heaviness, or even the sudden peace that comes like a wave, all of this is the invisible touching the visible. It is the heavenly reality breaking through the limits of the natural. Think of it this way. When the moon turned red, it was not only the sky being painted, it was your inner landscape being rewritten. The eclipse was not a show outside of you, it was a trigger within you. The red glow was a mirror of blood covenant, a reminder that promises sealed long ago are now entering their season of fulfillment. Your body knows it. That is why it reacts before your thoughts can catch up. For many, the symptoms have been unsettling. Waking in the night with no explanation. Feeling as if time moves differently. As if days feel both heavy and accelerated. A sudden urge for silence. As if noise becomes unbearable. Some feel drained of energy, while others feel restless, vibrating, as though something inside refuses to let them sit still. But all of this points to one truth. You are being recalibrated. The eclipse was the signal, and now your very biology is aligning to carry what has been poured out. The chosen ones were never meant to live untouched by heaven. That is why your body cannot remain neutral. You are not simply a soul waiting for some far-off promise. You are a living altar, a walking temple. The signs you feel in your body are heaven's handwriting across your flesh, reminding you that you have already been chosen, already been called, already been set apart. The eclipse did not pass. It entered you and continues to write its story in your cells, your breath, your heartbeat. And I tell you this, do not ignore what you feel. Many dismiss their symptoms, trying to explain them away as stress, coincidence, or imagination. But chosen ones know there are no coincidences when heaven is moving. If your body feels unusual after such a cosmic alignment, it is not random. It is revelation. It is testimony. You carry in your skin the evidence that the divine has touched you. This is why the eclipse was not an ending, but a beginning. When the light dimmed in the heavens, a new fire ignited within you. When the shadow crossed the moon, clarity began to break open in your soul. And though the world may have looked at the sky and then gone back to their routines, you know you cannot return to the same rhythm. Your body itself will not allow it because it has been altered. So I ask you, will you honor these changes as sacred? Will you stop trying to fit into the patterns of before when your very flesh is telling you, I have been marked? The eclipse has already written itself into your being. Now you must choose whether to ignore it as a strange sensation or to embrace it as the living proof that you are part of something far greater. Chosen one, the eclipse did not end in the sky. It entered you. And from this point on, your body will continue to testify, heaven has touched me and I will never be the same. Why the body feels before the mind. Chosen one, have you noticed that your body reacts long before your thoughts can explain what is happening? This is not by accident. The body was created to be the first instrument of perception, the first messenger of the unseen. Long before the mind interprets, long before words are formed, the body already knows. This is why, since the eclipse, you have been experiencing things that logic cannot define. A heaviness in your chest that appears out of nowhere. Waves of heat in your hands or spine. A sudden tightness in your head, as if a crown of pressure is resting there. These are not mistakes of biology. They are the signals of heaven. The body always feels before the mind understands. Why is that? Because the body is more ancient than thought. Your flesh is tied to the rhythms of the earth, the pull of the moon, the cycles of the sun. When the eclipse released its vibration, your body absorbed it instantly, the same way the tides shift when the moon moves. But your mind, trained to reason, to analyze, to doubt, takes longer to catch up. The body is honest, immediate, instinctual. It cannot lie. That is why the spirit speaks first through it. Think of a time when you walked into a place and felt uneasy before you knew why. Your skin prickled, your stomach turned, or your breath grew shallow. Only later did you realize that the atmosphere was heavy, or that something was wrong. The body sensed it before the mind did. This is the pattern of the chosen ones. Your spirit whispers to your body, and your body cries out with symptoms until your mind finally pays attention. This is exactly what is happening now. Since the eclipse, the chosen are carrying within themselves an energy shift too great to ignore. That is why sleep patterns have changed, why fatigue comes suddenly, why some feel bursts of energy in the middle of the night. It is because the body is recalibrating, rewiring itself to host a higher frequency, and the mind will resist at first, labeling it as stress, illness, or exhaustion. But the body does not resist. It obeys. It adapts. It becomes the proof. Understand this. Heaven designed you so that your body would be the first to know, Your skin, your heartbeat, your nervous system, all of these are gateways. When God moves, it is not only your soul that is touched, but also your cells. That is why you tremble in prayer. That is why you cry without knowing why. That is why you wake up at night with your heart racing. The Spirit bypasses your intellect and speaks directly through sensation. And let this truth sink deep. The body is not your enemy. Many have been taught to see the flesh as weak, broken, or untrustworthy. But chosen one, your body is not a prison. It is a temple. It is a sacred witness. Every symptom you feel after the eclipse is your temple resonating with what heaven has already poured in. You are not far falling apart. You are being restructured. So when your body reacts, do not rush to silence it. Do not numb it with distractions. Pay attention. Ask, what is heaven telling me through this? If you are exhausted, perhaps the Spirit is asking you to rest so He can deposit revelation in your dreams. If you feel restless, perhaps you are being called to movement, to step into a new assignment. If your chest feels heavy, maybe your heart is being expanded to carry more love, more faith, more courage. The symptoms are not punishments, they are invitations. The eclipse marked you not only in your spirit, but also in your flesh. And this is why the body feels before the mind, because heaven refuses to let your intellect be the gatekeeper of transformation. If the process depended on your reasoning, you would resist it, explain it away, or delay it. So God moves through sensation, bypassing thought, making sure the transformation cannot be denied. Chosen one, let your body teach you. Let the trembling, the heat, the dreams, and the changes become your prophets. They are not random. They are heaven's handwriting across your biology. The body always feels first, remember, because it was designed to be the first testimony that heaven has entered you. And I ask you now, will you honor what your body is telling you? Or will you dismiss it as ordinary? Will you embrace the signals as sacred? Or will you treat them as meaningless inconveniences? Remember, the eclipse did not leave you untouched. It has entered, and your body is the loudest voice declaring the change has already begun. Chosen one, the body never lies. It carries within it the evidence of every unseen movement. Since the eclipse, many of you have already noticed signs that seem small, but when placed together, they form a map of transformation. These symptoms are not punishments. They are proof. They are the living reminders that heaven has already entered your flesh. The first and most common symptom is unexplained fatigue. Suddenly, simple tasks feel heavier. You may find yourself needing more rest, as though your body is carrying an invisible weight. Do not mistake this for weakness. It is adjustment. Your nervous system is working overtime, recalibrating to the new frequencies released during the eclipse. Think of it as spiritual software being updated. The process consumes energy. Fatigue is not failure, it is alignment. Another symptom is restlessness or disrupted sleep. Some chosen ones wake in the middle of the night with their hearts racing, as if summoned by an unseen presence. Others feel their dreams intensify, full of symbols, encounters, or even people they haven't thought of in years. This is not random. The night is the hour when heaven whispers loudest, and your spirit is most open. If your sleep feels different, it is because you are being visited. You are being taught while the world sleeps. There is also the sensation of pressure or weight in the body. Many describe a heaviness on the chest, a ringing in the ears, or tension at the crown of the head. These are not illnesses, they are signals. The chest carries the heart, and heaven is expanding it to hold more. The head carries vision, and heaven is opening it to perceive beyond the natural. Even ringing in the ears can be the tuning of spiritual hearing, preparing you to catch frequencies you could not before. At the same time, some experience the opposite, waves of lightness and sudden bursts of energy. One moment, you are drained, the next, you feel like running, creating, moving without rest. This fluctuation is the body adjusting between the old rhythm and the new. The eclipse did not only pour energy in, it also pulled out what no longer belongs. The exhaustion comes from release, and the bursts come from reception. Together, they form the dance of recalibration. Another sign is chills, shivers, or sudden changes in body temperature. Without warning, your skin may erupt in goosebumps, or your hands may feel hot while the rest of your body feels cold. These are not random. They are the tangible evidence of spirit moving through your vessel. Chills are like electricity running across your skin, confirmation that the unseen is touching the seen. Do not ignore the subtler symptoms either. Changes in appetite, shifts in breathing, or moments of dizziness. Your digestive system may reject certain foods it once craved because the body is cleansing. Your breath may feel deeper or shorter because the spirit is adjusting your flow of life. Dizziness may occur not because you are unstable, but because your inner compass is being reset, teaching you to walk in a new direction. And then there are the emotional surges that manifest physically. Sudden tears with no clear reason, laughter that comes like a wave, a trembling in the hands when you pray. These are the ways your soul spills into your body when heaven presses close. They may feel overwhelming, but they are sacred. They are signs that the walls between your inner and outer world are dissolving. Chosen one, it is important to understand that not everyone will feel the same symptoms. Some will notice only subtle shifts, while others will feel dramatic changes. But whether gentle or strong, every sign points to one truth. The eclipse did not pass you by. It entered you. Do not fall into the trap of fear. The world may tell you that symptoms are always sickness, but you know better. These are not signals of decline, but of transformation. They are not the body breaking down, but the body breaking open. Each symptom is a messenger. Each sensation is a teacher, and if you pay attention, they will guide you through this sacred process. So I ask you, when fatigue comes, will you see it as weakness, or will you recognize it as realignment? When dreams grow intense, will you dismiss them, or will you seek their meaning? When your body shakes, will you call it strange, or will you bow in reverence, knowing the unseen has touched you? The symptoms have already begun. They are not there to scare you, but to mark you. They are heaven's fingerprints across your skin, reminders that you have been chosen not just to witness the eclipse, but to embody its power. Chosen one, do not ignore what your body is telling you. It is the living scroll on which God is writing the next chapter of your story. Chosen one, what you are feeling in your body may not always be pleasant. For some, it comes as pressure in the chest. For others, as aching joints, migraines, or exhaustion that feels endless. There are moments when it feels as though your body is resisting you, slowing you down, holding you captive in discomfort. But listen closely. This is not destruction. It is adjustment, and the line between pain and transformation is thinner than you think. When heaven shifts the atmosphere, your body cannot remain in its old state. It must recalibrate the same way an instrument must be tuned before it plays a new song. If the strings are tightened, they may groan. If the wood is bent, it may creak. But all of this is necessary so that the music can flow in harmony. In the same way, the aches you feel are not signals of collapse, they are signs of tuning. Your vessel is being prepared to carry a greater frequency. This is why fatigue feels so heavy right now. Your body is detoxing from the weight of cycles that no longer serve you. Old patterns, toxic energy, and stagnant emotions are being flushed out. And yes, that process is uncomfortable. It feels like pain, because the old is leaving. But once it is gone, space will be made for the new. Pain is not the end. It is the passage. Think of birth. No new life comes without contractions. They are painful, yes, but they are purposeful. Every wave of discomfort pushes forward the arrival of what was promised. What you are feeling now in your body is the same principle. The shaking, the pressure, the exhaustion, all of it are contractions of the spirit, preparing to birth what the eclipse unlocked inside you. Another adjustment is in your nervous system. That is why your heart races unexpectedly, or your skin tingles as though brushed by an unseen hand. Your nerves are like wires being rewired. At times, the surge of energy feels overwhelming, even frightening. But it is not harm, it is expansion. Your capacity to sense, to perceive, to discern is being increased. The very wiring of your being is being updated. And then there is the emotional weight that presses through the body. Old traumas resurface, not to torment, but to be released. Tears come without explanation. Memories return in waves. You may feel as though you're breaking apart, but in truth, you are being unbound. The pain is not punishment, it is liberation. Your cells have carried stories for years, and now heaven demands they be rewritten. So how do you know if what you feel is pain or transformation? The difference lies in perspective. Pain drains hope, but transformation, though uncomfortable, carries a subtle undercurrent of promise. Even in exhaustion, you sense renewal is near. Even in pressure, you feel a whisper that says, "Hold on, something is shifting." That whisper is your assurance. You are not dying, you are being reborn. Chosen one, I urge you not to despise these adjustments. Do not curse your body when it aches. Do not resent the nights you cannot sleep. Instead, see them as sacred moments. Each discomfort is a conversation between heaven and your flesh. Each sensation is evidence that you are hosting something bigger than yourself. Yes, there will be moments when it feels unbearable, but even then, remember this truth. The eclipse was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to transform you. Your body is not breaking down, it is breaking open. And the only way forward is through. So I ask you now, will you treat your symptoms as burdens, or will you honor them as signs of the new being born in you? Will you resist the adjustments, or will you allow them to reshape you into the vessel you were always meant to be? The eclipse has already entered your being. Pain is not the final word. Transformation is. And every ache, every tear, every restless night is proof that the change has already begun. How to cooperate with the process. Chosen one, heaven has begun the work, but you still have a role to play. The transformation in your body is not meant to leave you passive. It is an invitation to partnership. The eclipse poured energy into you, yes. But whether that energy will flow smoothly or clash with resistance depends on how you choose to cooperate with the process. The first way to cooperate is through rest. Do not ignore the calls of your body when it asks to slow down. Rest is not weakness, it is alignment. Your vessel is under construction, and construction always requires pauses. Sleep when you need to. Take moments of silence. Step away from noise. Every time you allow yourself to rest, you are giving heaven space to finish its adjustments. The second is hydration and cleansing. Water is more than physical refreshment, it is a spiritual conductor. Since the eclipse, your cells are working overtime, flushing out what no longer belongs. By drinking water, by nourishing your body with clean foods, you are assisting the release. Do not be surprised if certain cravings disappear, or if old habits no longer feel right. That is your body asking you to align. Honor it. Third, learn the power of stillness and listening. Your body is speaking loudly right now, and so is the spirit. Instead of drowning out the symptoms with distractions, pause and ask, what is this sensation teaching me? A racing heart may be heaven, prompting you to pray. A restless night may be heaven waking you for revelation. A sudden wave of energy may be heaven nudging you to act. If you listen, every symptom becomes a message. Another way to cooperate is by releasing resistance. Fear will try to make you fight the process. The mind will say, this is strange, this is dangerous, this is too much. But chosen one, the mind does not lead here. The spirit does. And the spirit is writing through your body what your intellect cannot comprehend. Instead of resisting, surrender. Say with your own mouth, I trust what heaven is doing in me. Words have power, and your agreement accelerates the transformation. You also cooperate through movement. While rest is essential, so is responding to the bursts of energy when they come. If you feel a sudden urge to walk, to stretch, to breathe deeply, to write, to create, follow it. These impulses are not random. They are heaven, prompting you to embody the new flow. Your body will not only release through stillness, but also through motion. Let yourself move when the Spirit says, move. Prayer and meditation are also vital, but understand, this is not about long, complicated words. This is about authenticity. Speak honestly to God about what you feel. Tell Him about the fatigue, the restlessness, the dreams. Ask for discernment. Ask for strength. Every prayer you release during this season becomes like oil on the gears of your transformation, smoothing the process so it does not break you, but remakes you. Finally, you cooperate by honoring the sacredness of this season. Do not call your symptoms accidents. Do not call your body broken. Instead, declare, my body is adjusting because I'm being transformed. Speak life over yourself. Your words are seeds, and your body listens. If you complain, you resist. If you bless the process, you accelerate it. Chosen one, the eclipse already entered you. Your cooperation is the key to making the transition smoother. Rest when tired, hydrate when dry, be still when prompted, move when energized, pray when stirred, speak life always. These simple acts turn discomfort into alignment, pain into transformation, symptoms into testimonies. So let me ask you, will you resist what heaven is doing, or will you align your choices with it? Will you let fear dictate how you interpret your body, or will you see your body as a sacred altar, adjusting to the divine presence it now carries? Remember, you are not powerless in this process. Heaven is moving, but you are invited to move with it. And the more you cooperate, the more the transformation will flow through you. Not just as symptoms, but as strength, clarity, and undeniable evidence that the chosen are being remade for a higher calling. What is being activated within you? Chosen one, every symptom your body is carrying is not just a sign of change. It is a sign of activation. You are not simply enduring random discomforts. You are being awakened at levels you could not access before. The eclipse was not only a cosmic event, it was a divine ignition. And now the energy released that night is stirring parts of you that were asleep, waiting for their appointed time. The first thing being activated is your spiritual sensitivity. If you have noticed an increase in chills, visions, or dreams that feel more vivid than ever, it is because your senses are being heightened. You may feel overwhelmed by noise, by crowded places, or by certain people. That is not fragility, it is attunement. The Spirit is fine-tuning you to catch frequencies you once missed. Where others see coincidence, you now see confirmation. Where others dismiss feelings, you recognize messages. Another activation is in your discernment. Many chosen ones are suddenly able to sense truth and deception with unusual clarity. A conversation reveals more than words. An atmosphere reveals its weight. Your body itself signals when something is aligned or out of order. Your stomach turns, your skin reacts, your energy shifts. This is not paranoia, it is discernment. The eclipse has opened your inner radar to guide you through what is coming next. At the same time, emotional strength is being awakened. Old wounds resurface, but instead of crippling you, they push you to release what once enslaved you. Tears flow, but not as despair, they cleanse. Anger rises, but not to destroy, to fuel courage. Grief emerges, but only to give birth to compassion. The emotions in your body are not regressions, they are recalibrations. You are being forged into resilience, able to carry weight you once thought impossible. Perhaps the deepest activation is in your DNA of purpose. Buried inside you are codes planted before time, assignments, gifts, and callings that had to wait for the right alignment to awaken. The eclipse was that alignment. That is why you may feel an unexplainable pull toward things you never considered before. New creativity bursts forth. Old projects return to memory. A vision of who you are meant to become starts pressing from within. Your very cells are remembering why you were born. Even your energy cycles are shifting. What once drained you now feels unbearable. What once distracted you now feels meaningless. And yet the things tied to your true calling suddenly energize you, even when they require effort. This is no accident. The Spirit is training your body to recognize where life flows and where it is stolen. Pay attention to what strengthens you now. It is pointing to your future. There is also an activation of heavenly communication. Some chosen ones have noticed numbers repeating, songs with uncanny timing, conversations that answer silent prayers. These are not random. They are confirmations that the veil has thinned. Your body is the antenna, and the signals are everywhere. Heaven is teaching you to live in dialogue with it, to read signs, to follow nudges, to trust synchronicities as divine language. But with activation comes responsibility. You cannot treat your body as you did before. Every symptom, every shift, every surge is proof that you are not ordinary. The chosen cannot live as if nothing is happening. You are in training for a higher reality. That is why old habits break. That is why old cycles collapse. That is why discomfort comes. It is the price of carrying more light, more clarity, more authority. Chosen one, activation is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is subtle, like a whisper you almost ignore. But whether it comes as trembling in your hands, fire in your chest, or a new sense of vision, the message is the same. You have been awakened. The eclipse was the spark, and now you are the flame. So I ask you, will you honor what is being awakened, or will you try to silence it, to remain comfortable? Will you embrace the new strength rising in your body, or will you cling to the old patterns it is dissolving? Understand this: what is being activated in you is not temporary. It is not a passing phase. It is permanent. Once awakened, you cannot return to sleep. Once marked, you cannot pretend to be unmarked. Your body carries the seal of activation, and nothing will erase it. Chosen one, you are not simply living after the eclipse. You are living as the eclipse. You are the vessel through which heaven now moves, the testimony of activation written in flesh and blood. And from this day forward, everything about you declares, I have been awakened, and I will never be the same. Chosen one, the eclipse may have faded from the sky, but it has not faded from you. The moon has returned to its ordinary glow, but you have not returned to who you were. Something irreversible has been set in motion. And the greatest proof is not outside of you. It is inside your own body. You are the living witness of the change. Every symptom, every shift, every strange sensation since that night is a testimony. The fatigue that forces you to slow down, the dreams that come like visions, the chills that rush over your skin. These are not random occurrences. They are evidence. They declare that the eclipse did not simply happen above you. It was written into you. Heaven's movement has carved itself into your very flesh. Understand this: your body is now a scroll, a living scripture, where the story of divine transformation is being written. You no longer need to look outward for confirmation. You carry it in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the tingling of your nerves. When doubt whispers, nothing has changed, your body responds, everything is different now. This is why you cannot go back to the way things were. The vessel has been altered. The temple has been rededicated. The chosen cannot return to sleep once they have been awakened. Even if you try to ignore it, your body will keep reminding you. The spirit will keep speaking through sensations, through dreams, through the physical echoes of an invisible shift. Think of the ancient prophets and apostles. Many of them carried marks in their bodies, trembling when the Spirit came upon them, fire in their bones, even weakness that testified of divine strength. You are living in that same pattern. The symptoms you feel are not hindrances. They are signs that you are participating in something far larger than yourself. You are carrying heaven in your humanity. And here lies the beauty. The symptoms are temporary, but the transformation is permanent. The fatigue will pass, the restlessness will ease, but the capacity being built in you will remain. The old cycles will fade, but the strength, clarity, and sensitivity you gain will stay. Pain is temporary. The mark is eternal. You are not just surviving the symptom, you are being remade by them. So when people ask what the eclipse meant, you will not only describe what you saw in the sky, you will describe what you felt in your skin, in your bones, in your very breath. Your testimony will not be secondhand, it will be embodied. You will say with confidence, "I am the proof. My body carries the evidence that heaven moved chosen one." This is your destiny to be the living witness. The world may forget the eclipse, but you cannot, because it did not stay in the heavens. It became part of you. From now on, every step you take, every word you speak, every symptom you honor is a reminder that you are marked. So I ask you, will you dismiss what your body is declaring, or will you honor it as sacred testimony? Will you reduce these signs to coincidences, or will you rise and proclaim, "I am the evidence of what heaven has done"? The final truth is this: the eclipse did not pass. It passed through you, and you will never be the same. Your body itself has become the altar, the witness, the proof. And every breath you take declares the prophecy fulfilled. The chosen have been changed, and their lives will never return to what they were.